Audio-03, Eternity of Sound in the Science of Mantra, Chapter 3. Constructive Applications of Sound in the Modern Age. Discovery of radio waves had created revolution in the scientific development of the modern world. Research on ultrasound and infrasound has given it a big leap towards the new horizons of advanced technology. The pulse echo method for testing of metals was developed in 1940s-50s based on Professor Dazish's research on ultrasonic waves. Contemporary research on ultrasound has led to multifaceted application in engineering and sciences. Use of ultrasound in non-invasive technology like the EMR, sonograph, and ultrasonic surgery, in the diagnosis and treatment of disease like arthritis, gallstone, and in complicated surgical operations has taken a predominant place in the medical technology today. Among the recent experimental studies, the research works of Dr. Luxell in Sweden, Dr. J.C. Taylor in England, and Dr. Toshio Bogoi in Japan have shown promising use of ultrasonic in the neurological disorders as well. The visible as well as the subtle effects of infrasound are found to be more powerful in the field of communications than those of the audible or ultrasound. The radio waves could be used only through appropriate transistors. This limitation has been overcome by the invention of microwaves and the other infrasonic waves. The special use of infrasound lies in the acquisition of the distance in time and space and how low frequency signals, and is therefore of specific importance in telematics and advanced telecommunication technology. According to Dr. Joseph Todd, a radiologist in the University of California at Los Angeles, infrasonic radio waves could also be sent or received via neurological signals. Nature possesses many live examples to support his claims. The frantic running around by animals like cats, dogs, rabbits, etc., before the occurrence of an earthquake in the nearby area indicates the capabilities of these animals in sensing the infrasonic vibrations deep below the Earth's surface. Systematic experimental studies on the changes in the behaviors of several animals and birds have given conclusive results in this regard. The Japanese make use of the goldfish to know about the tremors well in advance. Some species of elephants and fin whales are found to make efficient use of infrasonic signals for deciding the directions of their future movements. The presence of an infrasonic effect due to its subtle nature is often linked with mysterious events. One such interesting phenomenon is associated with the research of Professor Govard Marsilius of Vienna. He used to feel dull and restless with nausea while working in the office in his properly and airy chamber. This had started happening every day since several months. Mysteriously, his condition would become normal as soon as he came out of the particular chamber. His body and the mind were in good health otherwise. Regular observation of this peculiar phenomenon prompted him to investigate the matter. Once while he was sitting with the support of a wall in his chamber, he sensed some sort of vibration in it. It was found that the noise of an air conditioner fitted several months ago in the adjacent room gives rise to these vibrations. The frequency of these micro-scale vibrations was found to measure around 0.7 Hz, which was generating infrasonic waves in the chamber of the professor. Professor Govard then carried out intensive research in microwaves. He developed an instrument to generate infrasonic waves. To his surprise, during several experiments, he observed that these waves were capable of penetrating the bodies of the guinea pigs and due to their high energy fields were capable of liquidating the solid constituents there in the fraction of a second. During a demonstration of the power of infrasonic waves, when he operated his machine to generate such waves in an open ground, the glasses of the concrete buildings in the surroundings were found to have broken almost instantaneously, and the inhabitants of the building complained of headache, irritation, nausea, and tension during this experiment. Because of their immense potential in creating high-energy fields, the discovery of infrasonic waves soon led to the technological developments ranging from the household appliances like the microwave ovens to the highly sophisticated instruments for advanced scientific research. The above example and technological applications clearly signify the magnificent role of the power of sound in our physical life. However, if misused, this power would be equally detrimental. Noise pollution is among the major health hazards being faced by the world today. The selfish and power-hungry motives of a few have also led to destructive use of sonic energy. This greed and exploitation of the astonishing power of sound could prove to be disastrous to humanity and to the existence life on our beloved planet. Chapter 4. Misuse of sonic energy in recent times. The smallest level of intensity of sound that could be heard by our ears have been scaled to measure as 0 decibels. The average intensity of a whisper through human mouth is measured on the scale as 10 to 20 decibel, and so on. The sounds of intensities, hence loudness, more than 75 decibels are found to be harmful to the psychological and physical health. According to a report of the International Symposium on Environment organized in Stockholm by the UNO, if a human being has to live consistently in a noisy atmosphere where the intensity of sound is more than 140 decibels, then he would soon lose the normal mental balance. Further, higher levels of intensities of this sound would result in his untimely death. It is found that, on an average, the intensity of sound produced by normal conversation is around 60. That of quarreling voice is about 80. The average intensity of the noisy sound of a motorbike measures around 100. That of a siren of a factory about 150. Aircrafts about 160 decibels, etc. The collective impact of these disturbing sounds is found to explosively damaging and more dangerous for our ecosystem than the pollution of air and water. Scientific studies on noise pollution. Scientific investigations revealed that the stimulation created by the sound waves of intensities higher than 25 to 30 decibels at a continuous stretch perturb the normal bioelectrical signal processing of the nervous system and hence should be regarded as risky. Maintenance of silent ambience in hospitals, especially around the heart patient, and in the intensive care unit is therefore mandatory. Contemporary experimental research on guinea pig as well as on the human subjects carried out in the acoustic medicine and neuropsychological research labs across the world in the 20th century has shown significant mal-effects of loudness of sound on clinical, physiological, and psychological behavior of the subjects. The leading projects include the experiments conducted at San Francisco Medical College, California, Dr. William Guar's research lab in Georgia, Callier Hearing and Speech Center, Texas, Lester Sentence Physiological Research Lab in Ohio, and the field research carried out by Professor V. Williams of the Harvard University, etc., in the USA, and those of Dr. Griffiths in Australia, and the National Studies of Heavy Industries, Physical and Working Environments, carried out in England, France, and Russia. Similar to the Doppler effect, the negative effect of loudness results in the destruction of matter in its vicinity. During the construction of a playing field near Leningrad, sometime in 1963, it was observed that the loud noise of the bulldozers had caused sudden fall of the feathers hens in a nearby poultry farm. The loud voice of Super Magnet fighter aircraft had produced cracks in the historic caves of Canyon. Many other historical monuments around the world are facing similar dangers due to the noise pollution created by the traffic or the heavy industrial operations in the areas around. The intensity of sound has a key role to play at the cellular and molecular level as well. Dr. Dale Hestice's research carried out at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology has shown that the coagulation of the RBCs increase with the loudness of sound in the surrounding environment. This results in the narrowing down of the arteries and increasing their rigidity. Similar results were obtained at the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences in UCLA during a study of the effects of noise. The negative effects of the loudness of sound in the big cities were found to have caused liver diseases in the adults and affected the would-be born children of the pregnant women. Such infants were born with physiological and anatomical abnormalities of one kind or the other. While the appropriate ordering and controlling of the frequency and intensity in music creates soothing effects of strengthening the healthy functioning of the body and the mind, any disordering in it could prove to be equally harmful. For instance, the electronic strain gauge tests conducted by the acoustic Dr. John Diamond have indicated that some combinations and tuning of the da-da-da in a noisy pop music can ruin about 2/3 of the muscle strength of its listeners. The sound produced by evil thoughts and sentiments like jealousy, ego, anxiety, anger, generated by excessive ambition, possessive desires, or attachments, fall into the second category. Those desirous of living a happy, healthy, and long life should attempt creating a noise-free atmosphere in their external and the internal world. Silence in the surroundings and a peaceful state of mind are evidently crucial for the success of any kind of yoga or spiritual practice. Chapter 5. Infrasonic Communications, Misdeeds of Today. As stated earlier, the infrasonic waves are the fastest signals and the most modular medium of communication through space as compared to the other modes known till date. However, the falling values of humanity in the modern world have largely opted for the misuse of this superb natural power of Shabda. The effects of direct contact with infrasonic waves have been found to be most harmful for the physical health, as it can destroy the body tissues in a tiny span of time. That uncontrolled infrasonic radiation are insidious to one's physiology has also been observed in several incidents in the recent past. Some of these were large-scale phenomena like the ones presented below. Peculiar feelings of fear, despair, and dullness used to prevail among the tourists who visited the Santorini island in South Aegean. This prompted geographical investigations. It was found that long ago, sometime in 1450 BC, the major portion of the island had got immersed in the Atlantic Ocean. The geological movements of the same and disturbances thereby creates vibrations that result in generating infrasonic waves around Santorini. During the peak of the Cold War times, some Russian scientists had conducted experiments in which they had sent infrasonic signals to several parts, especially in the factory mining areas of Canada. This had put millions of people, especially laborers in the factories or the mine workers, into unusual state of mental depressions, dullness, and lethargy for several days. This naturally affected the factory and the mining operations and created serious problems. Canada had raised this issue at international forums to prevent reoccurrence of such ghastly trials. Similar infrasonic attacks of the Russians were reported in Alaska. The American defense scientists had retaliated by transmitting equivalent low-frequency anti-waves. The weapons capable of transmitting infrasonic radiation at targeted spots of strategic importance in the enemy's camp are the most deadly and ghastly, as they can virtually paralyze the opponents for a desired period of time during the war, without leaving a clear evidence of this inhumane act. Registering such attacks is hard because such signals can be propagated directly without the requirements of any transistors or reflection sensors, etc. Unmindful race for such developments, if left unchecked, might even lead to the extinction of life on our globe. Considering the disastrous dangers of misuse of the gigantic power of the sound, and realizing the astonishing role of Shabda in the creation and maintenance of normal functioning of human body-mind and the existence of life in the universe, the advanced research in the areas of ultra-high or higher frequency or infra-low or still lower frequency sound waves should now be carefully directed towards the noble constructive ends of scientific quest. History of human civilization has witnessed the lives of many great personalities who from time to time have made use of the spiritual power of Sabda to guide the human intellect towards the righteous direction of global welfare. In view of this fact and realizing the eternal power of Shabda, we have logical reasons to believe that a constructive unification of the modern sciences with the science of spirituality would prevent the reoccurrence of the misdeeds of the recent past and help induce a harmonious ambience of all-round progress suitable to human dignity.